All right, so I'd like to start off with the fact that the affirmative made mention of that pharmacies and drugstores in rural areas or things of the like may be miles away. First of all, schools can also be miles away from these places, half an hour to an hour oftentimes in your rural farmlands, even in rural Pennsylvania, places like Lancaster and even the center of the state, or even if you go nationwide to like Iowa or Kansas, the Great Plains. Things are miles away from each other as it is. So even so, you don't have the readily availability, whether it's a school or a pharmacy, but even so, if you're making the choice of having sex and you ultimately want to prevent having a pregnancy, having an STD, you'll make the decision to go the extra mile and get a condom. In doing so, with the schools educating these people to do that as opposed to just going the lazy route and not doing anything about it, it forces these people, these vulnerable teenagers, to get the condom and take the right steps. And speaking of nationwide issues, the affirmative only mentions specific areas of our country in terms of their rates with sexual activity and STDs. They mentioned the Bronx had a very high rate, and they also mentioned that 418 schools have sexual education programs. Ladies and gentlemen, that's only 7% of United States secondary schools. What we're trying to promote is that more secondary schools in the United States have education systems implemented. We want to teach the students how to use a condom, when to use a condom, the dangers of sexual activity, and necessary steps to take to ensure that both STD rates and teen pregnancy rates decrease for good. Also, they mentioned that pregnancy tends to occur as it is, but with a condom, whether you use it or not, doesn't affect it, because condoms only have an 82% success rate according to the CDC. That means that 18% of the time you use a condom, a pregnancy is bound to occur, provided the circumstances with the woman's menstrual cycle match up. Condoms fail. It's a fact of the concept of condoms. They are not 100% proof or 100% able to prevent a teen pregnancy or an STD. Excuse me. In addition, schools are not open all of the time. Schools are only open for X amount of time throughout the year. Summers they're closed, weekends they're closed, holidays they're closed. These pharmacies, these Planned Parenthood clinics that sell them for the cheap, on the cheap, or even give them away for free, are open whenever and wherever. And even if they are far away from certain locations, they're still out there. If you want to prevent it and care enough, you'll take the steps to do what's necessary in order to prevent this. And lastly, their plan mentions pamphlets. I could easily take a pamphlet and throw it in the trash and take the condom. Pamphlets don't enforce education. Teaching in the classroom enforces education. And if they don't do that, they're not accomplishing anything. So understand this. Education is the only means to convey the message. Pamphlets don't. Thank you for being here.